Hey everybody, this is TJ Cates with Nashville Entertainment Weekly. We're coming to you on a rainy weekday in the city of Nashville, but we're finding musicians everywhere. Who are we talking to?
The musicians falling out of the sky here, just like raindrops. I'm Randy Finchum. Glad to be here, TJ.
All right, man. Good to see you.
Brother.
We met about 5 years ago, and I think I met you at the Row. You were doing a music
At the Row,
night there.
yes. We had a music night.
You were there with a lot of people, and that was before I even started the show or did any of TMZ or anything. I was just out there with my camera, and it was my first, I guess, walks around the music nights, and I was hearing the incredible music, and I was hearing the stories behind the music, and you're a big part of it, man.
That's the beauty of Nashville, and I'm a Nashville native, and I've got to be around this for all of my life, and especially my adult years, and it never gets old to hear those hit songwriters play those songs, and they don't play them, pristinely or perfectly, but they play them with a heart, and they're talking, when they almost talking the lyrics, and it just gives you the chills. Gives me the chills just thinking about it. But that's the joy of Nashville.
It is.
I'm glad you got to sample that.
That's what we try to do at Nashville Entertainment Weekly, is show our fans from around the world when they come to Nashville to don't just go to the key places that you see on the brochures when it's your hotel room. Yeah. Get out there and go find the original music and support these people. And you're going to find artists that you've never heard of. And sometimes they're here for a year, sometimes they're here for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
but you find people all the way. Where do you find people? I've always been curious.
Well, are you in the
You seem to find the most incredible artists.
Well, in the networking realm, I've been very blessed. I think if you make yourself available when you come to town, if you go to these things, at least initially, go to as many as you can.
As many as you can.
Hook up with a group, hook up with people you like to write with, and start writing with them, hanging with them, playing different gigs with them. Then your path will become more so defined, and you will grow in your writing and grow in your vision of what you want to do. If that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. We tell people, I know you're very prideful when you're playing. You live in Wisconsin or North Dakota, South Dakota, Maine, or something like that, and you're kind of the big deal at your small town. But when you come to Nashville, you've got to realize that there's big, talented people, and it needs to bring you up a level. And you're not going to realize that moving your apartment, waiting for somebody to come sign you to a deal. You got to get out there, and you never know who you're going to meet.
Yes.
But I think the cool thing about you is your belief system, which I really admire, and your work ethic, which I totally admire. And I think it's really important to surround people by like-minded people that actually came here to work.
Yes, I've been blessed with them big time. People who inspire me and make me want to be a better writer and be a better person. One time, what you were just saying, I heard Barbara Cloyd, I believe, one of the jewels of Nashville,
she
hit
is.
Songwriter. She said Nashville is the NFL of songwriting. I believe that's what was her personal quote, and it sure is. And the thing is, when you get here, it will bring out the best in you because it will have to. Be in it for the long haul, let it soak in, and you're going to be surprised a couple years from now, the songs you're writing compared to what you come to town with. You're guaranteed to be amazed if you give yourself time to be amazed.
That's great
advice,
you can do, man. What do you think? Everybody comes here, and sometimes they seem like they find a place to stay for a month or two. Then they sign a 12-month lease, and after that, they didn't make it big, so they give up and go home. What encouragement would you give people to stay in it for the long haul? That's a great way to put it.
Set little goals for yourself that are attainable, that make you want to hang in there a little longer. Because if you just give yourself, music is probably the most frustrating career path to take because there's no one manual to do it. Every story is different. But as in music, as in life, set little goals to keep you going on the journey, something that will keep you going through the ups and downs. If you get a fan that really loves that one song that you write and they come up and tell you, oh gosh, I love that song, remember that when that publisher turns you down, because the next one may not. Gosh, there's so many more. Where do I begin with all this? Hang in there. How many times?
Hang in there.
Hang in there.
That's a good one.
Persevere. Every success story you're going to hear, that time they almost gave up. I bet you if you talk to Blake Shelton, he'll probably tell you about that time he almost gave up. And I
interviewed Bobby Braddock one time. I just
one
happened to be at George and Timmy Wynette's daughters, and she's one of our fans, and we thank the world of her. But we were out there, and I saw Bobby, and he's just this little guy over there leaning against the wall. He's there to support his daughter, and I'm like, and I said, is that Bobby? And she said, yes. I said, do you think there's any way I can talk to him? He said, oh, yeah. Well, I started this conversation, and he starts talking and talking. I'm like, would you ever so mind if I turn that camera on and we talk about it? He said, no, go ahead. Yeah. So we email. I think he emails everybody in town. That's his way of communicating. But I'm like, the things that he said about Blake and don't give up. That's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Jeannie Seeley was on our show one time, and she had so many words of wisdom. And one of her things was to caution young artists is when you get a song and it sounds great and you think it's great. And Sylvia, I think she was on our show too, and they both had that same conversation. Don't write a 15-minute song, pop it on the internet, and say, get it and work on it and take your time. And you're a songwriter, so you must definitely have, and people come to you to just co-write so much.
Speaking about hanging in there, I was 41 before I ever played the Bluebird as an invited guest. I was in my 40s before I ever got my first cut.
Nice. Well, you got a cut. That's a step above.
It takes a while. There was a lot of ups, a lot of downs, a lot of growth. I look back at those songs I used to think were just awesome, and I, they still got a lot of sentimental value to me, but I still had some learning to do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When you go around town like this, be ready to run into a Bobby Braddock or a Tommy Barnes or
They're
a
out
Gerald
there, y'all.
Smith,
They're
the
just
hit writer that you can get this advice from.
We went on the red carpet one day, and not to talk about myself, I just want to share my experiences. We're on the red carpet of the Nashville Film Festival of places, and we had a list of people that are going to be there, and they had that song, It All Begins With a Song documentary. And I just went, and I like the edge of the red carpet. Some people like the middle, where all the big stars come to you first. It's like, no, I like the end because you get more time with them.
Yeah.
Steven Tyler gave us so much time. Well, I'm sitting there, it was Mother's Day weekend, and it was at the Malco right around the corner, or not the Malco, the Regal, I forget which city I'm in. And I was going, and Mac Davis walks up, of all people, the songwriter. And I'm like, and I recognize him, North Dallas 40 in his movies and stuff. And I'm like, hey, man, what's up? He said, I got to go to the bathroom. I said, that's cool. When you get through, can you come right there and listen? He did an interview, and it was great because what a big songwriter.
Yes.
Dude, in Nashville, you've got to get out. Get off that couch.
Get out.
Put down that fireball. Don't go drinking tonight. Don't do that. Go out there and drink your water, stay fresh, and listen to songwriters. Learn from them.
Yeah.
And look in the crowd because they're out there.
Yes.
These people love music, and they want to just come in the back door and watch them.
Yeah, don't cut away and go home. Get you
Drink
a
some
job or
coffee,
something
people.
that you like. Something that's close to the music if you can. Something you like. Get out there every night, at least initially, but get out there consistently and learn how to learn and learn how to be amazed. Give yourself a chance to see what you can do. Don't say I'm happy as being where I'm at right now, because the marvelous thing about us being human beings, let alone songwriters, we can always learn something more.
Yeah.
There's always more room to download things up here and here.
If you keep your mind clear, there's open space.
Yes, sir.
Okay, with Barbara Cloyd at the Bluebird, was she there when you
She
played
was
the first time? That
there,
was before.
Yeah, I got actually invited back. Scott Southworth, the Music Row show, WSM. He invited me, and that was the first time, other than the open mic.
Putting your hand on that door and knowing that you're walking in there. What was that like?
That was awesome. I got to play, and I sat down. This was back in just about 2014, and I remember sitting there looking before I got up on stage, looking right after us. I think Skip Ewing was going to play.
Skip Ewing.
Oh yeah, the hit machine, Skip Ewing. But I got to play with Scott Southworth, Randy Brooks. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Yeah. So I got to get up there with Bill DeLuigi, one of my favorite writers, also, and Scott, which is a great guy.
Cool.
But it was cool to be there. And
we watched a movie on Netflix the other day. Jill had taped it, and it was Sandra Bullock and a couple different actors, and they filmed it in 1993.
Oh yes.
So they filmed it at the Bluebird.
Nashville.
That was kind of cool. Well, we
that
saw
was
the
The
Green
Thing
Hills Mall
Called
was gone.
Love.
Do what?
The Thing Called Love.
You're
That was it, right?
You have total recall.
Yeah.
It's amazing talking.
Well,
about
I can't remember anything that happened yesterday, but I can remember 25 years ago with the best
Well, that's
of
why you're successful in your radio show. Now, what's your format on your radio?
Well, I do a few different radio shows. For a few years there, I did Nashville Night, which I had a few the clients from that you had on there, and had a great 2-year run on there. And now I do the New Music Showcase with Steve Robertson, the HLE Christian Country Countdown. It's a
Such a good guy.
syndicated. Oh, he's awesome. A syndicated radio show, and I do a segment on there. And found out right before we came in that Steve is nominated, as am I, for Radio Personality of the Year through the Inspirational Country Music Association.
Congratulations,
Upcoming
man.
awards. Oh gosh, I'm
Well
amazed.
deserved.
Now, I want to get back to a songwriter show. I love doing the songwriter shows, much like the Nashville Night Show. Got a new show called Music City on the Mountain, which is going to air on WFMCJams.com, part of the Nashville Songwriters Radio Network. Now, check out WFMCJams.com. You're going to hear a lot of live shows from around town. Those of you who are out there outside of Nashville that are thinking about moving here, you want to hear how the entry level or the songwriter circuit is in Nashville. Listen to WFMCJams.com. Every night of the week, they broadcast from the Commodore. They do
CMA qualifying stage.
Oh yes, they do from a few different locations around town. So many of them I can't remember them all, but every night of the week you're going to hear live songwriter music on there, up and comers and some hit writers.
I'll put their link up above, and if we're on television, it should be below us right now. So.
Well, our show, Music City on the Mountain, is going to be recorded at Jim Oliver's Smokehouse down in Monteagle, Tennessee,
Nice.
A little bit south of here. And it's going to air on the third Monday of the month on WFMCJams.com at 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time. And I'm going to interview songwriters, hit songwriters,
Love it.
up and comers, and just the whole gamut. I'm putting the guest list together now. And
That's
it's
great,
like,
man.
Being a kid in a candy store.
Well, thanks
so.
for doing what you're doing for Nashville.
Hey, thank
I'm
you for
glad
doing
we-
what you do for Nashville.
Well, we're just trying to help, man.
Yeah.
I don't have the songwriting and the singing abilities that you do, and we're going to play some music for him right now. Let's play one of your songs. What do you want to play?
Let's
Since
do
you're here.
Well, we have. There's a young man that was on American Idol. He's a Christian country artist that I've got to run across and got to write with. We wrote a song called Cain and Abel's Cove. We just signed a single song deal with Matt Lindsay Music. Great guy. I appreciate him believing
play
in this
with you?
song. And Isaac's going to play on this song with me because he does the guitar licks better than I do, thus being nominated for Musician of the Year. So I'm very proud of this song.
Exciting.
It's one of the best songs I've ever been a part of, and Isaac's great. So.
That means a lot, what you just said. All right, y'all. Hang in here, and we're going to play some music. Randy Finchum.
Hey, this is Randy Finchum with Isaac Cole, a song we wrote called Cain and Abel's Cove. 1, 2, 3. They were two close brothers in a steel mill town in the Appalachian Mountains where the snow blows wild. The summertime's sweeter than a honeysuckle bush in June. Fishing and hunting was the only things they did. Mama always said they were joined at the hip. They shared everything from their skull cans to their boots. They both fell in love, but one got married, and the jealousy drove his younger brother crazy. Spent every night at the bottom of a whiskey glass. Legend has it if you come out here in the woods this time of year, you can hear the gunshots in the wind. See the blood in the moonlight glow, see the footprints in the snow. You're in Cain and Abel's Cove. Big brother's work took him out of town. He didn't know his young bride liked to run around till he came home early with roses and a bottle of wine. Curtains left open just a little bit was enough to show him what a fool he's been. With the porch light shining on his brother's truck in the drive. Instead of breaking that door down, he got in his car and drove back to town. Found a bar and a bottle and a way to get even with him. Legend has it if you come out here in the woods this time of year, you can hear the gunshots in the wind. See the mud in the moonlight glow, see the footprints in the snow. You're in Cain and Abel's Cove. On a hunting trip heading to their deer stands, both brothers had the same evil plan, to kill the other and blame it on an accident. 2 shots rang out and both brothers fell. The tree saw it all, but they'll never tell how the cove got its name and their spirits still walk these hills. Legend has it if you come out here in the woods this time of year, you can hear the gunshots every time the wind blows. See the blood in the moonlight glow, see the footprints in the snow. You're in Cain and Cove.